You're not hearing this anywhere else. Snacks that scream healthy are actually skyrocketing your blood sugar. Want proof? Glad you asked. I strapped on a continuous glucose monitor and went on a caviar to Costco snack scavenger hunt. Straight into the Costco zone, baby. And let me tell you, what I discovered will have you rethinking every vending machine, pantry, and convenience store shelf you've ever trusted. Starting with something deceptively simple, pure peanut butter. No, not the sugar-laden, oil-packed versions boasting natural on the label. I'm talking about just peanuts. And maybe a pinch of salt. That's it. Scientists actually tested this. They had volunteers eat white bread and apple juice, then tested again with the exact same meal, but adding 2 tablespoons, about 32 grams, of peanut butter. The result? A significantly smaller blood sugar spike, about 35.8 versus 51 milligrams per deciliter. Pure proof that peanut butter can soften the blow of high glycemic foods. More broadly, peanut butter and nuts come with multiple glucose-friendly benefits. Heart-healthy fats, protein, magnesium, and antioxidants that support blood sugar control and insulin sensitivity. Plus, long-term studies found that women who regularly ate peanut butter, like 5 tablespoons per week, were 21% less likely to develop type 2 diabetes. Mind-blowing, right? What makes it even sneakier is how easy it is to use. Scoop a tablespoon before you munch on apple slices or crackers, and you'll ride out a smoother, slower wave instead of a nasty spike. Pairing protein and fat with carbs slows absorption and keeps energy and your mood more even. Here's a spoiler you'll want to catch later. I'll show you how I built a snack so stable, your glucose line looks like a zen ripple, not a roller coaster. Stay tuned. I'll share that deep inside. Don't forget to subscribe to Undercover Spoon. You trust me to dig through the sugar-coated lies, and I've still got 5 more snack bombshells coming. Next up, low-carb seed crackers that actually silence your glucose spike instead of fueling it. Let me walk you through the elite squad of snacks that are not just low-carb, they're clever low-carb. I stumbled on Ella's Flats, the kind made purely from sunflower, pumpkin, flax, chia, sesame seeds, psyllium, even poppy. No flour, no sugar, no oil, just seeds pressed into a cracker. Their nutrition? Get this, 8 grams of protein per serving, loads of fiber, healthy fats, and, depending on flavor, 0 net carbs. Not just low carb, seed bomb. And your blood sugar? Totally stable when you're snacking on these. If those aren't handy, there's also a flax-based rival, Flackers, fermented flax crackers made with apple cider vinegar. They clock in at just 1 gram net carbs, super high fiber, and gut-friendly fermentation. Some say the flavor is stronger, but if you pair them smartly, you'll hardly notice. Want a backup still better than most? Try Mary's Gone crackers. They include whole grains like brown rice and quinoa. So carbs are higher, around 14 grams net carbs per serving, but balanced if you pair with protein-rich toppings. Later, I'll show you my absolute favorite combination, seed cracker plus protein pairing, that hit the glycemic control sweet spot. You'll want to see that in action. By now, your glucose monitor should be thanking you because we just turned peanut butter and smart seed crackers into glucose-friendly weapons. Ready to keep the re-education rolling? Because I've still got 5 other snack reveals that are even more surprising and deliciously effective. Stick around. Your blood sugar will thank you. In a clever pilot study, researchers tested subjects eating a high glycemic breakfast, white bread and apple juice delivering around 60 grams of carbs, then retested them with the same meal, but this time adding 32 grams, 2 tablespoons, of peanut butter. The result? The glucose spike dropped from an average of 51 to 35.8 milligrams per deciliter. That's a dramatic 15-point difference in the peak, and in sugar terms, that's huge. But wait, there's more. Another trial looked at overweight women at risk for type 2 diabetes. They added peanut butter or whole peanuts to a carb-heavy breakfast. What happened? Not only did their later blood sugar rise slow, But satiety hormones, GLP-1, PYY, and CCK, shot up, and hunger went down. Basically, peanut butter helped keep them calmer and fuller, without the sugar roller coaster. On the long-term scale, big observational data support this too. One massive nurses' health study tracked over 80,000 women for 16 years and found that those who ate peanuts or peanut butter 5 or more times per week had up to 27% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who avoided them. There's also a meta-analysis of clinical trials showing that nuts and peanut butter, packed with monounsaturated fats, magnesium, arginine, and fiber, helped reduce fasting glucose, postprandial spikes, insulin levels, and even improved lipid profiles, like lower LDL and higher HDL, in people with type 2 diabetes. So here's the takeaway. Pure peanut butter isn't just tasty. It's a strategic weapon in your snack arsenal, lowering spikes, keeping you full, and potentially reducing long-term diabetes risk. Use it wisely, 1 tablespoon at a time, and watch how your glucose line smooths out. Let's pivot, because I promised you more than just peanut butter. Next stop, low-carb seed crackers that sneak past your glucose meter without firing up a spike. Enter Ella's Flats. These little seed bombs are made entirely from sunflower, pumpkin, flax, chia, sesame, and depending on flavor, poppy, garlic, onion, or hemp. No flour, no sugar, no oil, just seeds and spices. One of their flagship flavors, Everything, boasts only 1 gram net carbs per serving, plus 7 to 8 grams of protein, plenty of fiber, and healthy fats. That's healthier than an egg. And without the carb load. Their sesame flavor goes even lower, 0 grams net carbs, while keeping the same protein and fiber benefit. Another flavor, Caraway, clocks in around 3 grams net carbs, but brings even more omega-3s and healthy fats. People on forums like r/diabetes_T2 rave about these too. One user said, sea salt flackers are 1 gram net carb per serving. More carb-heavy depending on seasonings. That's not Ella's, but it underscores how rare low net carb crisp snacks are, and how much Ella's stands out. And the secret sauce? Fiber-rich seeds slow digestion, protein and fat moderate blood sugar absorption. And when paired with something creamy, say, that peanut butter from earlier, you're looking at a crash-proof bite. Remember that teaser? I hinted earlier, there's a combo coming that turns your glucose graph into a smooth Zen wave. It involves this cracker, plus the right protein topping. You won't want to miss that setup coming soon. That wraps up part 2. We've revealed how peanut butter fights sugar surges, shared nuts-only cracker secrets, and teased what's next. More jaw-dropping snack revelations are ahead. Are you ready for the crunchy, creamy, secret weapon combo that transforms your glucose control? You think chips and standard crackers are off limits when you're managing blood sugar? Think again. You're about to discover what snacks can replace those sneaky carb bombs with something bold, crunchy, and cleverly built to stay flatlined. Pork rinds, yes, the crispy, crunchy pork skin chips, are walking the line between myth and marvel. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 impact on your glucose. Turns out they're a secret weapon for blood sugar control. These salty crunch bombs are virtually invisible on the glycemic scale, delivering 0 grams net carbs with no spike in blood sugar. They're also loaded with protein and fat, pushing satiety into overdrive and helping you dodge that 3 p.m. crash. But here's the catch. That sodium is no joke. A single ounce can hit up to 79% of your daily limit, so you'll want to manage portions carefully and seek low-sodium brands. Use them like edible confetti over salads or soup, or snack mindfully with checks on the label. You'll feel that same crunchy joy without blood sugar betrayals. Moving into even more savory territory, meat bars and meat sticks. These aren't jerky, they're lean, soft bars made with meat, seeds, and clever seasoning blends. Epic Bars delivers on this with options like bison bacon cranberry or beef jalapeno, all boasting keto, Whole 30, and low sugar credentials. Here's why they're under the radar greatness. They deliver 7 to 11 grams of protein per serving, are carb-conscious, and highly portable. Think of them as your crunchy, savory, sugar-dodging snack. On forums and in diabetes-friendly snack lists, people obsess over their clean profiles. No flour, no sugar, just unadulterated protein. They're the perfect fit when you need something substantive and subtle, without blood sugar betrayal. Now let's zoom out. These aren't just random snacks. They're part of a bigger pattern. Recent research shows that nut-enriched snack bars, so yeah, those high-protein, low-sugar bars, can reduce fasting blood sugar by up to 11% and push down post-meal spikes by up to 14% in people with diabetes. So what's happening? These bars pile in fiber, healthy fats, and high-quality protein, all working together to transform snack time into a blood sugar stabilizer. For real, scientists are watching your glucose curve flatten out, bite by bite. Here's your insider peek. Imagine a mix you can build right now. A single pork rind, a crispy bite that stays flat on your glucose graph. A meat bar, lean, seeded, savory protein that anchors you. Combine them with a sprinkle of salt, a whisper of spice, or even a carrot stick. And your glucose stays locked, stable, even zen-like. Stick around because in just a bit, I'm going to combine this with something that tastes like dessert, but behaves like medicine. I'm talking final reveals that blend sweet, creamy, and crunchy in ways that look innocent, but feel profoundly smart. Remember, subscribe to Undercover Spoon if you haven't yet. I don't just share snacking hacks. I dig deep, exposing game-changing truths that mainstream won't tell you. You know the drill. When sweet hits the shelves, your blood sugar meter tenses up. But your cravings? They're not going anywhere. That's why I risked the obvious and dove headlong into the world of yogurt. Yes, yogurt, the snack you've usually sidelined for fear of hidden sugars. Let's break it down. Here's the scoop. Plain, unsweetened yogurt, especially Greek or Icelandic, is a low-glycemic, high-protein probiotic powerhouse. It doesn't send glucose shooting skyward like you think. A 2017 compilation of studies found that even a modest 80 to 125 grams of yogurt per day was tied to a 14% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to eating no yogurt at all. Another large analysis confirmed that yogurt lovers saw about a 17 to 18% reduced risk per incremental intake increase. The FDA even greenlights a qualified health claim. Consuming at least 2 cups, 3 servings per week, may reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes. Albeit with the caveat, evidence is still limited. Let's talk fasting blood sugar and insulin sensitivity in real time. In a carefully controlled clinical trial, people with metabolic syndrome who ate probiotic yogurt every day for 2 months showed significantly lower fasting blood glucose, improved insulin sensitivity, and better markers of endothelial function. Here's why this matters. Probiotics in yogurt, like Lactobacillus acidophilus and Bifidobacterium lactis, can directly support gut health, quench inflammation, and help your body manage sugar more elegantly. Now here's some undercover chemistry. Yogurt typically boasts a low glycemic index, GI less than or equal to 55. In fact, around 92% of pure yogurts sit in that low range, whether sweetened or not. Fermentation depletes lactose, and plus, the fat and protein further slow sugar absorption. But, and this is critical, yogurt triggers a stronger insulin release than expected for its carb load, which masks spikes short-term, yet might worsen insulin resistance long-term. That tension between benefit and risk is a classic twist in undercover nutrition. Game plan: stick to plain, unsweetened, live cultures yogurt, Greek, Skyr, Icelandic style. These are thick, protein-rich, and low in sugar. Pair smart. Think a dollop of yogurt with chopped berries, nuts, or a sprinkle of cinnamon. Each addition layers in fiber and healthy fat to buffer any glucose. Watch portion size and context. Some people diet planning experts caution that dairy's insulin response can backfire if used off strategy. Here's the move you've been waiting for. Later in the series, I'm going to blend yogurt with an unexpected crunchy element. Yes, the same seed cracker we talked about earlier, to create a combo that tastes indulgent but behaves like a metabolic ninja. You'll see how sweet meets strategy and cravings melt under stability. And because this is the Undercover Spoon way, here's your second reminder. Subscribe to Undercover Spoon. Only insiders know how snacks can lie to you, and I'm pulling back the curtain with every bite. We've just unpacked the creamy side of snacking, how yogurt can soothe, stabilize, even protect. But there's more. Part 5 is coming, and it dives into chocolate that looks dangerous but actually keeps your glucose calm. Get ready for sweet, dark, surprisingly smart. Chocolate, innocent indulgence or sugar-spiking villain. It's time to call its bluff. First up, dark chocolate, especially with 70% cocoa or more. Yeah, it still looks decadent, but studies show it can actually support blood sugar balance and even heart health. Cocoa's flavonoids help improve insulin sensitivity, slow digestion of carbs, and sharpen blood sugar control. In a study where people with diabetes paired dark chocolate, just under an ounce daily, with Pilates, fasting glucose dropped and stability improved. Plus, big-scale research following nearly 200,000 adults showed that eating dark chocolate 5 or more times per week was linked to a 21% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes versus those who skipped it. Milk chocolate offered zero benefit. So yes, when chosen wisely, dark chocolate isn't the enemy. It's a secret weapon treat. But let's go deeper. Chocolate sweetened with monk fruit, stevia, or even erythritol. These aren't just tricks. They're stealth technology. Take Choc Zero Keto Bark, sweetened with monk fruit. Each square is just 1 gram net carb and has 0 added sugar. Or Lily's chocolate, made with inulin, erythritol, and stevia. Just 2 net carbs per portion and 0 sugar. Here's the clincher. Scientific trials that directly compared sugar-free dark chocolate against conventional versions found dramatic results. The sugar-free bar, sweetened with stevia, erythritol, inulin, resulted in a 65% lower post-meal blood glucose area under the curve, IAUC. A spike, but massively muted. And the sweeteners themselves? Monk fruit extract and stevia clock in at nearly 0 glycemic impact, and even show hints of modest blood sugar moderation and anti-hyperglycemic benefits. Meanwhile, erythritol is fully non-glycemic, with a glycemic index of 0 and no insulin response. Time to pull your Undercover Snack all-star team together. Imagine this combo. A piece of sugar-free dark chocolate, rich, bittersweet, sweetened with monk fruit and fiber, paired with crunchy seed crackers like Ella's Flats, or even a sprinkle of nuts. Each bite is an undercover act, dessert minus glucose betrayal. Your glucose meter will nod in quiet approval. Why this works? Polyphenols in cocoa enhance insulin sensitivity and slow glucose absorption. Non-nutritive sweeteners replace sugar without raising blood glucose. Fiber and fat from seeds/nuts add cushioning, slowing digestion, blunting spikes. That means a moment of chocolate indulgence. That doesn't undo your hard work. Let me leave you with this insider's flourish. Near the end of our journey, I'll pull out one final reveal, the everything bagel-style snack that tastes wildly indulgent and still keeps your glucose line flatter than a board. Think crunchy, creamy, sweet, salty, like a lockdown party in your mouth, plus 0 spike. You won't want to miss that. Remember that pep talk? Time for your last cue in this section. Subscribe to Undercover Spoon, because the real secrets stay off the Russian-influenced mainstream channels. Okay, you've seen peanut butter, seed crackers, yogurt, chocolate, savory bars, and pork rinds all step up. Now it's time to close the circle with a dessert that looks like indulgence. Acts like precision. Energy bites, also called no-bake energy balls, are your undercover dessert. These little bombs are customizable, portable, and can taste rich while delivering glucose stability. Here's why they're the perfect closer. According to Healthline, low-carb energy bites combine nuts like almonds or cashews with fiber-rich dates or skip dates for even less sugar, offering protein, healthy fat, and a controlled sugar release. A review found tree nuts may lower fasting insulin and reduce insulin resistance, prime targets for glucose control. Dietitians are constantly recommending energy bites as go-to snacks that balance macronutrients, nuts, seeds, cocoa nibs, superfoods that fill you up and keep blood sugar even. Here's your insider recipe armed with stealth ingredients: Choco Nut Power Bites, half-cup almonds or mixed nuts, seeds, 2 tablespoons unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 tablespoon isomaltulose, sugar-friendly sweetener, GI approximately 32, slow release, dentist-friendly. Optional binder, a touch of nut butter or almond milk, just enough to bind. Process until crumbly and combine. Roll into small balls, chill until firm. Each bite brings fiber, fat, protein, a whisper of sweetness, and 0 blood sugar betrayal. The isomaltulose keeps the sweet while crawling into your bloodstream like a calm whisper, not a spike. But let's deepen the theatrics. If you want dessert that'll fool your taste buds and respect your glucose meter, here's a second layer of drama: chocolate avocado mousse. From Self's recent roundup of diabetes-friendly desserts, it features chocolate avocado mousse that relies on avocado's fiber and healthy fats, Greek yogurt or alternative for protein, and cocoa for indulgence, all with minimal added sugar. This is indulgence without the crash, creamy, dreamy mousse that stabilizes instead of spiking. Now here's your ultimate undercover snack map: dessert-like, delicious, yet devilishly smart. Choco Nut Power Bites. Raw, no bake, nutty, chocolatey. 0 added sugar if you skip dates. Optional isomaltulose for sweetness and GI control. Chocolate avocado mousse. Velvety, guilt-free, and packed with stabilizing fats and creamy texture. Still craving crunch? Sprinkle pumpkin seeds on top. They bring fiber, magnesium, and sugar-stabilizing power. It's the ultimate grain of deception. Your taste buds think dessert, but your glucose monitors say, nice try, no spike. Let me bring this full circle. You started this journey with common snacks masquerading as healthy. We unearthed their hidden traps and replaced them with real power snacks, solid sugar fighters, not villains. We revealed how peanut butter, pure and minimal, levels spikes. How seed crackers weaponize fiber for blunt sugar absorption. How pork rinds and meat bars let crunch exist without carbs. How plain yogurt and low-sugar chocolate provide creamy, indulgent control. And now, dessert that hits sweet and stays hidden from your glucose graph? Here's the mic drop: your very own glucose-guarded snack box. Power Bite. Rich, nutty, chocolatey, no spike, mini mousse. Smooth, sweet, subtle, seed. Sprinkle, crunch, texture, stabilization. Pair, portion, stash. Use when the sugar monster roars. Your glucose will remain calm, your cravings satisfied. If that isn't the final revelation your snack life needed, I don't know what is. Remember, subscribe to Undercover Spoon because you now carry secrets. Not fluffy marketing, underground truths that actually protect you.